Now we're going to talk about another very important public matter. Good morning, Carrie O'Hanlon.
Good morning, Damien.
Thanks very much for talking to me. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Tramore resident and mammy, and married to Dennis Power from Fenner. And daddy is Gareth O'Hanlon from originally Kill Nationals.
Well, he's originally a Corkman.
Originally a Corkman, but he was the principal of Kill National School.
Yeah.
And mammy is Sheila.
Yeah.
Hello, mammy. And Gareth is outside at the minute taking little Isabel for a walk, keeping her quiet.
Yes.
They're good grandparents.
They're amazing grandparents. And like so many of my peers and contemporaries in Tramore, I rely hugely on them.
And the reason I mention that is that some people are lucky that they have family around, but family can only do so much as well. And we're talking about childcare. And you have another daughter, Rose.
I do.
How old is Rose?
3.5.
3.5. And how old is Isabel?
Isabel is 15 months.
15 months, okay. So we've been raising the issue about childcare, and we've had a number of different stories about this. And you're just an ordinary person.
Yes.
Not politically involved or anything like that.
No.
And what have you done, or what are you doing? What's your story?
So I suppose from my own experience, having had my two little girls, I went back to work after I had Rose in 2023 with the help of a local childminder and my parents. They took Rose for 1 day a week. And then, fortunately enough, I had my second little girl last February, and I started looking for childcare for her, for me to return to work. I was actually supposed to return to work yesterday.
Do you mind me asking, what do you do?
I work, I'm a dietitian in industry, and I work for a pharmaceutical company.
Okay, very good. So you were due to return to work yesterday, but you can't.
I can't. So I have taken extended unpaid leave until October, so I can get my youngest daughter started in creche, but I don't have any childcare in the afternoons after her play school hours for my eldest daughter. And I thought this was me and my naivety, maybe a little bit of disorganisation after having two small kids, but it didn't take long for me to realise that childcare in Tramore is severely unavailable.
Is it a crisis?
I think so, yes. Mums cannot go back to work. Mums are spending their maternity leaves trying to find childcare, and those very early months are stressful enough without thinking that you can't go back to work. As Damien, you well know, Tramore has expanded greatly in the last number of years. A mum colleague worked out that at least 300 families have moved into the town in a very short period of time, over 2 or 3 years. And the expectation when houses are built is that the services will be there to be provided. And many of the mums of children under 3 are finding that, no, they can't go back to work because their children can't be looked after.
Now, June the 11th, if people want to get that in their mind now, particularly those out in Tramore, June the 11th, so that's the night, you need to go to the Coast Guard Cultural Centre. And if things go the way I think they might go, I don't think you'll have enough space there. I think it'll be standing room only, because you're organising a public meeting. You're just an ordinary mammy, and you're basically asking people to turn up for this.
So that's correct, Damien. Yes, we, having met a representative from the Waterford Childcare Committee to get the facts, because up until that point, anecdotally, I knew there was a lack of childcare. But the Waterford Childcare Committee do have the facts and have mapped the need for childcare in Tramore. And very kindly will attend that meeting as well to present those facts. The meeting is at 11 in the morning. I know that won't suit everybody. We are focused on 0 to 3. This is a wider national, it's a wider issue. It is a national issue. But for the purposes of this public meeting in the Coast Guard Centre at 11 o'clock in the morning, it is for the 0 to 3 catchment and the lack of infrastructure around supplying capital services.
And will mammies or daddies be able to bring their children with them to that meeting if they can't get childcare?
Of course. What I will say is that there is a capacity of 40 people in the Coast Guard. Anyone in Tramore will know that it is not a huge venue. But if we can get our public representatives there and our key stakeholders and a good representative from our parent population with their children, I'm sure we'll have a very collaborative and robust discussion.
Okay, so that's June the 11th. Now, in terms of the issues in relation to this, are there just not enough creches and childcare facilities? That
is certainly part of it. Anyone in Tramore is aware that there is an empty building in one of the estates in Clonlarach. A number of messages have already come through going, why is the case? We hope to get some answers on that. We know that there has been a lot of work done with TUSLA around childminders and the regulation of childminding, and also for families to be able to avail of the National Childcare Scheme through childminders. There's only 3 registered childcare minders in Waterford, and those who are doing childminding are retiring or coming to the end. So that...
Just say that again?
Yeah.
There are only 3 registered
childminders
in Waterford?
In Waterford.
City and county?
Yes.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
You learn something new every day. I'm gobsmacked.
Yeah. So we are relying on private arrangements, which excludes so many families from any of the subsidies that the National Childcare Scheme provides. And therefore then you're looking at another bill. So all of the homes being built in Tramore are 3, 4, 5 bedroom. In this day and age, given the energy crisis, the cost of living, parents have to work. They have to work. They have to provide for their families, and as well as that, not even on that basis, mothers don't want to give up their careers. They want the best for their children. They want the best for themselves, but without appropriate childcare, they can't go back to work. In the main, it seems to be the mums that are taking the hit on this. There's great dads out there doing it as well, and there's great dads supporting their partners with childcare. We would be lost without grandparents. We've already mentioned them today. If you're lucky, and it is lucky enough to have them nearby, but many of these young mothers and families are looking after elderly parents as well. We are very much a sandwich generation. So the purpose of the meeting on the 11th is to present these facts to our public representatives, and then to say we have solutions. Why can Tramore not be the pilot site for a state-led childcare service? The bones of it is there. Why not align our town planning with our housing? We can't keep building houses if the services we expect to be there are not there.
Did you make up that phrase, the sandwiched generation?
I certainly didn't.
All right, I hadn't heard it before.
It is a very...
That's a really good phrase.
Yeah, it's a common parlance.
I'm learning a load of stuff today. I don't go out. I don't talk to anybody, you know. I keep to myself. When the council are giving planning permission for new housing estates, I thought they were supposed to put in creche facilities and say, yes, there'll be a childminding building there, and enough of those to provide for the needs of the community. But this is obviously not the case. There's a major deficit in Tramore.
Major deficit. So you're right.
So sorry, if you go along the Ring Road, and we did an outside broadcast there, and that's another issue, the Ring Road. But if we go along the Ring Road, all the estates that have been built in the last 5 to 10 years, yes, and somebody moves into that estate, and you, married couple, as you say, they have to work, because unless they're very wealthy, unless they're mothers of the Cliff Road of Waterford Whispers News, they have to work because they can't afford to keep the house on one salary. No. So then you're in that sandwich, that problem of childminding. Like, this is horrendous. You've got a petition already online.
Yes, and that is again because the feedback has been there's never a good time for parents to attend a meeting like this. 11 o'clock was chosen. 11 on 11. To move with it, and the Coast Guard Centre very kindly have agreed to host it for us. So mindful of the capacity that the facility can hold, I was very keen to capture as many voices that this affects in Tramore as possible. There's nearly 12,000 people living in Tramore now. The last census, there was 11,500 in 2022. It is affecting a huge number of these people. In the last 2 days since we published the petition, Damien, we've had 200 signatures. I must ask the people of Tramore, if this affects them, to sign that petition, because that gives us the mandate to our public representatives that this is affecting a significant proportion of our town and that something has to be done.
How do they access the petition?
The link is, I've shared it on my social media, I've shared it on WhatsApp. My fellow mums and daddies and grandparents and friends have been sharing it and doing stellar work. We've achieved over 150 signatures in the last 2 days very quickly. It's on the Uplift platform, and it's very easy. You're not asked to subscribe or anything.
Okay, and can that be accessed through Facebook, for example?
Facebook.
So Carrie O'Hanlon, you have a Facebook profile.
I do indeed.
So go on to Carrie, Carrie, Carrie O'Hanlon Tramore, and tag me on it later, will you?
I will, of course.
And I'll have a look at it, and then you just it links into the Uplift. I know what that is. So it's the meeting's on the 11th of the 11th, 11 o'clock on the 11th of June. Mm-hmm. And if anybody can't make that, then they can contact you as well and give your thoughts and make this a big political issue. Because it must be causing an awful lot of stress. How stressful is it?
It's incredibly stressful. The other mums that I met at that meeting with the Childcare Committee were incredibly exercised. They're running out of options. It is the conversations at the drop-off door is I might have a place for my elder child, but the sibling rule does not apply anymore because our providers, and our childcare providers in the town, are just as exercised and stressed over this. They don't want to be saying no to parents. And we know that. This is not their fault. This is a systems failure. And it just requires a bit of creativity and a bit of joined-up thinking. And I think Tramore, it's a great town. I grew up there. I've come back there. I'm raising my family there. It is a great place to live and it's a great place to raise kids. Why not make us the pilot for the National Childcare Scheme? It makes sense. There's a lot of young families, willing and able, that want to be working. It makes sense to me, and it makes sense to a lot of my friends and to the other mammies I'm talking to. So I just want to ask our public representatives to really get behind us on this.
And the stress, because I've been in this situation myself over the years, and my children are now growing up. But the stress it causes, as you say, you're lying awake at night and you're wondering how we're going to organise this, and there can be tears as well. I presume you've spoken with mammies. It was
a very difficult conversation that I had to have with my husband to say, do I go back to work in May and pay my salary in nanny fees to mind my 2 children over the summer, or do we tighten our belts and get to the other side of this and hope something comes up?
And the childcare providers, they can't cram in children into rooms because there's rules and regulations, and you just can't and it's not good for the children. You can't. There's so many.
We are handing over our most precious thing, our little boys and little girls, to these wonderful women in the main to look after them so we can give them the best childhoods. And they deserve that respect. And they deserve to be recognised by the state for the work that they do.
Carrie O'Hanlon, thank you very much.
Thank you, Damien.
Not at all. And you're on Facebook, and if people want to contact us here, again, we'll give out the details as well. And Dennis is the husband. And hello to the mammy and the daddy. Thank you.
Thank you, Damien.
Good luck with the meeting.
Thank you.
Will you let us know?
I will, of course.
I won't be able to make it, obviously, myself, but let us know how it goes, and
we'll
talk to you soon. Yeah. Thanks.
And everyone who signs that petition will get full follow-up.
The show that has Waterford talking.
The Tyker fire has devastated